Welcome, 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 everybody. It is time for another Tuesday night chit chat. Uh, Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're returning, we're so glad to have you back. So, tonight, I want to hear what your favorite bag is. Now, I talk all the time about what my favorites are, but I want to hear what your favorites are because I'm running out of ideas, right? So, I've been looking at a lot of bags lately and they all remind me of a bag I already have. So I maybe there's only so many styles that they can do, but I would like to know what some of your favorites are. What do you guys carry every day? Is it a backpack? Is it a sling bag? Is it just a little pouch? With the heat being what it has been lately, I if have to carry a lot of stuff, I do carry my 511 backpack. But if I am just running to the store or something, what do I do with it? Oh. I carry this little job on my belt. It's hands-free, I can get back in the car, I don't have to mess with anything, and it holds everything I need it to hold. So, sometimes that's all you need. If I'm going to the park or something, yes, I carry a backpack, and if we're going on a nature hike or something, yes, I carry a backpack. And sometimes I carry a sling bag, and you'll have to forgive me because my eyes have been leaking all day. I don't know if it's allergies or I don't know what's going on, but I feel like a fountain. I am not crying, I promise you. They just won't quit running, right? So just ignore them. Um, let's Mr. Randy made it first in. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, what, Randy? Glad to see you, sir. If you wanna come on live, jump right in because you have got more cameras than anybody else I know, and I know you have bags for all of them. So which one is your favorite? Because I know you have several different, kinds and styles or whatever, and so I'm just curious as to which is your favorite. Um, so I put a mirror, like, on the wall by my closet, and it's picking up, for some reason, the street light outside on the other side of the fence. So I don't really know why it's doing that because I the mirror has been there before, but yeah, so it's distracting. I'm sorry. And Hal made it in. Hi all. How are you, Hal? Glad to see you. What is your favorite bag, sir? And it can be any kind of any kind of a bag, whatever you carry on the daily. I know Randy pretty much has a camera with him all the time, I think. So his is probably a camera bag. But what's your favorite bag, Hal? And inquiring minds want to know. Randy says one lens and two extra batteries with one camera. Take a 100 or take a 100 or more photos. Might add a video, but been creating photo slideshows lately. Yes, you have, and they are wonderful. I saw the one about your puppy, and it kinda made me weepy, um, but it also made me happy that you had so many good times, and it's so much fun to take pictures of your pets. I don't I I used to do that too. So, Hal says, "My favorite bag is a Think Tank photo bag, Storyteller 8 shoulder bag." Okay, I have seen that. I've tried shoulder bags in the past, and if you get it too like, too far out, I'm not very tall, okay? So if you put a shoulder bag on me and I have one that I really like, it's a little teeny tiny thing, but if you put it too big of a bag on one side, I end up feeling like I'm listing. So, so I do like the, I think Tank and Mindshift are the same company, I think, and I do have a couple of Mindshift bags that I really, really like. They have very small camera compartments, and then the top part is, like, all backpack. So, I had a lady over the other day that was looking for a backpack, photography backpack, and she wanted the side access so she could sling it around and do the side thing. I have never been good at that. I have never been able to master that. I look retarded when I try to sling something around and open the door. I've seen people do it with the greatest of ease, right? But when I do it, I look like I'm not all there. And so I only have a couple of bags that have side access because I have tried them and I'm not good at it. So I kind of gravitated away from them. And so the mind shift bags are probably, well, okay, this one is the red one. That is one of my favorites. I have taken it on overnight trips and stuff. I can put my camera stuff in the bottom part and then my clothes in the top part, and it is perfect. Uh, this one right here is weird. The access is only through the side, and yes, it has room on top and stuff, but it's got, it's got a zippered opening that big to get everything, your camera gear, all in and out of. So it's quite weird. So that one will probably be going away very soon. I am looking to rotate my bags out and in, and so I've got, if you notice, I don't know if you can see around me, but the yellow one that used to be in this general area is no longer there. So I am starting to try to rotate through some of them, and some of them I won't sell because I really like them, and they get into the rotation every once in a while. But the Belroy bags are very, for when I'm in a, I don't know, officey type mood. They're extremely good bags. They are not really what I would call park bags. Okay. When I go out and go exploring and stuff, typically I have a 5-year-old with me, and the Belroy bags are more adult, more grown up. And the bags I seem to gravitate towards now can handle the roughness that a 5-year-old can give them. So, they get set on the ground, they get put in the mud, they get, pretty much trashed, um, and and they keep on ticking. So that's kind of where I've gravitated towards at the present time. Now, that's not to say I do have a range bag. I don't carry a gun on a regular basis. So, I go to the gun range. So I have a bag just for that, but that's not part of my daily, you know. So, yeah, I'm just just wondering what everybody likes. So, how do you keep like your wallet, your phone, your keys in your pockets? Or do you have like something that you throw those in it to take with you? Randy says the Tyrion bag. I got two of those. I like that one. That's the Tyrion, but it doesn't have side access. So, which is probably why I like it. Um, I love the way it feels. That is I don't know, the material on that thing is just, I love it. It is so soft and yet it's pretty durable. The bottom, I think you could set the bottom down at a park or something and you wouldn't even be able to tell. Randy says, I love the light on the Create bag on the wall. The light on the Create bag on the wall. You mean the sign? The light on the sign? So, thank you. Yeah. So, we had a little incident last week. Um, I leave little man in here by himself, and I have a PC over here with two monitors that are on the wall. Okay. And I got him on the wall and off the table because, he's 5 and he's little bitty and he likes to ball up and put his feet on the table and then he'll push himself off, and so I didn't want to risk the monitors crashing down. Um, and He's 5. I mean, it is what it is, right? Well, so I was in the kitchen making him mac and cheese, and I came back in, and things had fallen. Not the monitors, okay, but things on the Mac side, had fallen off like, I have a light up on top of this monitor, and I have a light on top of this and things had fallen, and so I thought it just the lights had fallen, and I really, it didn't break anything. Okay, everything was fine, nothing got hurt, and so I thought it was just a matter of setting them back up there and everything would be fine. No, when they fell, they hit the camera, it knocked everything out of Whisker Do. So, things might be a little bit different because things are in a different I got it as close as I could, but I did have to redo everything, so it is what it is. Randy says, "I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, so I will go to bed after your show." Well, I feel for you because I really don't like going to the dentist. I need to. I've got a couple, one on the top and one on the bottom, on opposite sides, that need some attention and love. But I wish you the best tomorrow, Randy. And Roy made it in. G'day, Sly. Roy is from down under. So I'm so glad you came in. What is your favorite bag, sir? Everybody has one. Is it a backpack? Is it a sling bag? Is it a photography bag? Everybody has their go-to bag. So what is your favorite? Now, y'all hear about mine all the time. I want to hear about yours. Yes, the create sign. Yeah, yeah. So I had, they're called painter's lights, and you're supposed to put them on a blank wall, and it shines the light up the wall. It kind of paints the wall in that whatever color light you pick. Well, I have way too many backpacks on my wall to paint the wall because as soon as the light hits the backpack, it stops. So I had to move them out and kind of aim them, kind of shining at the wall. So yes, I've had those forever and ever and ever, but I don't think a lot of people paid any attention to them. So at the old place, they did light up. They just lit up the wall because I didn't have really anything to block the light. But I've created such a monster here that yeah, it wouldn't work. Hal says, phone keys wallet is in my pocket. Camera bag is has Nikon Z50 Mark II and my medicine. Okay, so what okay, so and the camera bag is the messenger style bag. Okay, gotcha. So do you wear it on one shoulder or crossbody? Because that I have noticed that if I wear a bag that style crossbody, I don't get off balance as much. And Flying Toast made it in. Hello, all. Hope everyone is doing well today. We are doing fantastic. Um, I hope I got everything put back together. It looks like I do. I didn't turn on any music. How about that? How about a little music? Just a little bit. Not very much. Um, but yeah, we're talking about our favorite bags tonight. Um, and it doesn't have to be like it can be a backpack, a sling bag, just a pouch, right? I mean, this thing gets more use than I don't know. It gets a lot of use. I'm not going to say it gets more use than my sling bag, but it gets a lot of use. Sling bag is awesome, but I do take it on and off when I get in the car, and it's getting some age to it now, and it's starting to show. So for Christmas, if any of my offspring is listening, Christmas, it's probably going to be due time to have a new one. I'm just saying. And you watch, neither one of them will be listening. It's all good. Rainy says, my kid is a cat. It gets crazy when Dusty is chasing something and a lot of things get knocked over. Yes, he does very, very well most of the time, but he's 5 and he has got more energy than, if you could bottle that, people would pay fortunes for it, right? But you can't get mad at him because he's just being 5. So, if he's 30 and he's still putting his feet onto the table and pushing himself back, then I might say something. But at 5, he's, doing the best he can. Randy says this past week, and this one, I've been very busy. I need to cut the grass, but I'll wait until Thursday. So it rained so much here. I had moved some patio furniture from the old house to here that I had bought but never put together. Sound familiar? Yeah. It's kind of how I roll. And so I just had it in my head that I needed to put it together, but it was raining. And then it would stop for a minute. I'd be like, oh, okay, I can get out there. And then it would just, kind of start sprinkling a little bit. So I'm thinking, it's just sprinkling. It's not really a big deal. And I just keep working. And before I knew it, I was pretty much soaked, right? And so I'd come in and wait for it to stop raining again, or rain, just a drizzle or something. Anyway, it took me 12 or 13 hours between putting it together in the rain and putting it and so yes, now the backyard needs to be mowed because it rained and rained and rained and rained. And there's like little ponds everywhere, where the gate is, it's a low spot, and so there's a pond, and it's just, so when the ponds dry up, then I will get out and mow. But the grass is getting taller and taller and taller. So it's not supposed to it's not supposed to rain for the next week and a half. And so I hope that I can get maybe 3 mowings in before it rains again, but we'll see. We will see. Roy is asking Randy, fur baby? Yep, fur baby. His little kitty cat. Jeff made it in. G'day, Sly. Gee, my most liked bag. There are so many. As for cameras, low pro, and my go-to is still the Think Tank. Yes, it's funny. The July 4th, I guess it was, I had to grab my camera and go down and take pictures and a video, and the action cameras are fantastic for what I call casual videos. Okay. And they do an okay picture, but they don't zoom in. You can't put a wide angle lens on them, anything like that. So I grabbed my M6 Mark II and a couple of lenses, and the bag that I grabbed was the Timba. That one. Now, I didn't think about it. Okay. I was in kind of not a panic, but I was in high alert. Let's just one step below a panic. And so I grabbed a bag without thinking about it and just started putting the camera and the lenses, and just, I needed to get out of the house as quickly as I possibly could, to get down there as quickly as I possibly could. And so the Timba was the one I grabbed. So is it because I'm most familiar with it, or I trust it, or because if I thought about it, like if I had put some thought into it, I really like the Think Tank, that one. But I didn't grab it, and it's right beside the Timba. So obviously the Timba is my go-to. So that's kind of a good a yardstick. What would you grab in a hurry? Because obviously now everything from pretty much this side over, those are all camera bags. And I think I have a few more down here. So I really have a plethora to choose from, but I keep gravitating back towards the same ones. So I think No, it's not up there. So there are a couple. One is almost out of the picture. That one, that's my original Canon bag. And I don't carry it anymore because I don't want to advertise. I don't want everybody to see that I've got, a camera bag. So Flying says, last week's stream was great, by the way. I'll be rewatching it and taking product notes once I have time. Oh, you like I do those about, I don't know, maybe 3 times a year. It seems like whenever they're having a Prime sale, I usually do one. Which I did want to talk to you guys about something that I did get on Prime, but let me read some of these comments first because I will get behind. Randy says to Roy, acting like a teenager, food is always on his mind. Yes. I'm afraid to tell him to find a mouse or something, but knowing Dusty will bring an extra animal because he doesn't like eating alone. Yes, I used to have a cat that would bring me snakes. Those little garden snakes. He loved them. He wouldn't eat them. He just liked to play with them because, they wiggle. Yeah, I don't like snakes, by the way. It's kind of a thing. Jeff says the best bags are the ones you love and score a bargain. Yes. And there is a channel called The Perfect Bag. A guy named Clint runs it. And he's doing I don't think it's a giveaway. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a contest to see. You have to buy a bag that's under a used bag, under $25. And he's wanting to see who gets the best deal. So that'll be kind of fun to watch. Yes, I love bargains. That red one, huge bargain, right? That's why I bought it. One, I like the color, and two, it was like ridiculously on sale. It was so funny because once I bought it, I don't think they realized what the price was until I bought one, and then they only had like 2 left, and they raised the price to almost double. Yeah, so that was funny. Roy says the kangaroos that visit each morning are not eating enough grass. So do kangaroos act as goats? If your grass gets really tall, will they come in and mow it down for you? And thank you so very much, Roy. You didn't have to do that, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that so much. You just don't know. That just really means the world to me. And you're going to make me cry. So stop it. Randy says, the deer only fertilize, hardly eat my grass. My last hope is that my neighbor will cut mine. Well, now my neighbor will borrow my mower to mow the front because, I live in a duplex. And so we share a front yard. We have like a common front yard. And he will mow the front. And sometimes when he's feeling froggy and I haven't done it, he will mow the side. But he so far, he hasn't ever gone into the backyard. So he goes in the backyard to get the mower. Al says, the Low Pro LP 37234 PWW Truckee BP 150LX is the bag I will grab if I'm in a hurry. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Randy has a Truckee, a Low Pro Truckee. I think. So it must be a pretty good bag. Jeff says, in a hurry, my Low Pro, if I only carry a camera and 2 lenses, but my bags are always ready to go most of the time. So I never know what I'm going to be doing. So if I'm going to take photographs, important photographs, like for graduation, or, people my age don't get married much anymore, and you don't really take pictures at funerals, but, if I'm going to go and take a picture of something that's important, I take 1 lens. If I'm going to go take a picture of, like the other day, I took a picture of the house. I wanted a more wide angle lens. So I don't keep my bags packed. And it kind of, I have so many microphones that I don't really know which, one I'm gonna use. So, a lot of times on the M6, I use a Ulanzi microphone. On the action cameras, I always use DJI because they connect via Bluetooth and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to connect anything or anything like that. So, um, it's so much easier. And I always, now, if I'm going to the park or taking my backpack, yes, my camera is always right there. And then I have a spare inside. Uh, by the way, the 4 has always been my favorite between the 4 and the 5. But they did a firmware update, and so now the 5 is actually running pretty good. The 4 did overheat on me the other day, and needless to say, I was not a happy camper. We were at the zoo. It was really hot, but they had a dinosaur exhibit, and so I wanted to get pictures of the dinosaur exhibit, and the camera overheated. And little man had the 5, and so I had to persuade him to let me use it and let the 4 turn it off and let it cool down before we could use it again. Excuse me. So they were supposed to release the 6 in June. June is come and gone. We're halfway into July and still no 6. So I don't know what they're doing, but I guess we'll find out. Jeff says, I think I told you that. Yes, but you also got a new bag. How do you like it? Because I know you bought a new bag for your trip. Roy says, kangaroos are giant rabbits. Well, maybe if you would plant some lettuce amongst the grass, they wouldn't be able to tell which is which and they'd just eat everything. Because I know here rabbits are really, really bad about eating gardens. So, Roy says, I haven't seen any snakes since I started feeding kookaburras. We don't have any kookaburras, and I thought they lived in trees. Like an old gum tree? I really don't know. Okay, so for Prime, we're going to talk about multi-tools just for a minute, right? I don't want to get on too far of a tangent, but just for a minute. So for my birthday, I asked for and I got this Leatherman. And the reason I wanted it is it has scissors, which I looked and they don't have this color scheme anymore, but they still make the one with scissors. So, and the scissors are fantastic. Well, when I was looking to buy one for myself, it was either between the Leatherman or the O-Knife, which they're very similar, especially on looking at them on a computer. Okay. There are some major differences, and I'm going to show you what those are, but looking at them on the computer, they look really, really similar. This one's $54. This one's $24.99. Why would you pay $54 when you can pay $24.99? But since it was my birthday, I asked for this one. You know, it's different when you're buying something for yourself and somebody's giving you a present. So this came in, I've had it since May, and the scissors are the smoothest cutting ever. I've cut paracord with them. I've cut the armband things that we get at like the zoo and places. Fantastic job. I have used the heck out of this thing. Prime Days came around and they put this on sale. It is no longer on sale, by the way. And so I thought, well, I had some Amazon credit and I thought, well, I'll get one of these. Okay. Night and day difference. As far as the scissors go, Leatherman, hands down. These are not the worst scissors ever. They will cut, and they will cut paracord, and I haven't tried them on the armbands, but I mean, they're okay. But they're squeaky and noisy, whereas these you can't hear anything. Now, I know Crisp is going to block all this out so you can't hear it anyway, but these are very, very quiet. They make no noise. These, not so much. It's... I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, so here's the second difference. Now, some of you guys might like this and some might not. Personally, I really don't have a huge preference. When this is closed, close that up, you still have access to, that's a bottle opener. You still have access to the knife with it closed. Okay? Which I do kind of like that. But I have a dedicated knife that I carry, so I don't know that I would use that. However, on the Leatherman, you only have access to the tools when it's open. So, see where the knife is? There's the little knife. So then you would have to close it back up to get the same configuration. Okay? So, is it a deal breaker? It's not for me. I like the fact that it's kind of more streamlined when it's closed. This one, the tools are on the outside, so you can actually, you don't have to open it to get to the tools. There's another one that I'd like to try called a Next tool. And it's in the it's in the same price as the O knife. I think it's about $25. But there is a noticeable difference. Now, in the knife, I think one's a 6 and one other half a dozen. I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference. There is some difference in the thickness. Now, they're the same height, but as far as the thickness, there is quite a bit of difference, and there's not a whole lot of difference. There's a little bit in the width, but the depth is really where it comes in at. So, in my opinion, you get what you pay for. So, I don't know. Some of you guys might like multi-tools that have pliers. And I have quite a few different multi-tools. I have a Leatherman, but I can't find it right now, which is annoying. But these little pliers, I have never found a use for. They're not skinny enough to get into like really, really small things, and they're not big enough to really do anything. Unless you've got like a really small, bolt head or something. I'm rarely have I used these needle nose. In fact, that's probably why they look brand new. And I just don't like carrying anything this big anymore when I can carry something this big. So there's that. Okay, that's my multi-tool thing. Cheese stick. If the Blazing Dragons cartoon is rebooted, how much you betting that there will be annoyed outcry from those hating woke media, all because of Sir Blaze's existence? Your guess is as good as mine. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. But welcome to the chat. Links to Sly's product showcases are down in her description below. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. Gerber makes some nice knifey tooly stuff too. I love Gerber stuff. The Gerber dime is probably one of my favorites, and it's a small little multi-tool. I don't know. I started with a Leatherman years and years ago. That's the one I can't find, that I'm kind of unhappy that I can't find it. Because I know it's still around somewhere. I know I wouldn't have thrown it out or loaned it to anybody, so it's around somewhere. I just haven't been able to find it. Where I thought it wasn't. So now it's missing. But I will be diligent and trying to find it. But I started with Leatherman, and so that's kind of always been near and dear to my heart. Now I have just up here, I have multi-tools out the wazooey, and I end up not using any of them. Yeah, these could all get thrown away, and I wouldn't even miss them. So, and I don't carry this one anymore because of how big it is and how little these two are. And I just got this one, so I haven't really tried it out. Not really fair to talk too much about it. But I have carried this one since May, and I do like this one a lot. So I like the Gerbers. Flint with the Perfect Bag was talking about a Kershaw knife, which is on sale, and I may be trying that. But that brings me to on sale. See how my mind works? It's just, it's really a cobwebby mess up here. And it's getting worse the older I get. So a lot of you guys that have channels use XLR mics. And so I just briefly wanted to touch on this. This is the Clark Technic mic booster. And the reason I wanted to bring it to your attention is because it is so ridiculously cheap right now. What did I do with it? I'll find it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. $25. Now, they only have a few left, but if you need a mic booster, because they do wear out, this is a fantastic, it works really well. I don't use XLR mics anymore. It just got to be where it was too much trying to fix the compression and the... I like to just plug it in and talk and forget about it. And so I switched over to the USB for fines. They're for fine. But if you are still using XLR mic and you need a booster, which almost all of them do, $25, this is a steal. I think I paid close to $70. Now, it's been several years ago, but yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there to you guys, let you know about it. Okay, Jeff says that new bag went back. It did not feel if my gear would be protected for turkey with the low pro backpack. It will. So now 1 camera, 2 lens bags, only 6 weeks to go. I know you're excited. So you Aussie guys might not know, but some of you that live here in the States. So I got summoned for jury duty in an area that I don't live in. It's in the state, but I don't live in it. And so I sent back on their little questionnaire thing that I don't live in any of those counties. And I thought that a jury of your peers meant that they had to live in the vicinity that you lived in. Am I wrong? So anyway, I got a summons. I emailed them back and I said, hey, I don't live in this district. Am I still eligible? And I have not heard from them yet. But yeah, I thought you had to live in the vicinity. I could be terribly wrong, but what do I know? So if any of you guys know, please enlighten me, because I don't know, and I can't find anything that says yay or nay. That yes, you do have to live in the vicinity, or no, you don't. You can, as long as you live in the state. I don't know. It was just weird. And if you drive over so many miles, they will pay to put you up in a hotel room. So that makes me think that you could possibly live anywhere in the state. If you're having to drive in. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been on a jury before. I think it would be kind of fun, but I don't want to drive all the way down there and then find out that you're not even eligible, and we're not going to reimburse you for your gas because you're not eligible. So, yeah. Randy says, unless they are moving the trial to your area, they can pick you. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it had to be like there's like 20 counties that this district covers over here, and I'm all the way over here. So it's not across the state, but it's not like really close to me either. So yeah, I don't know. Now Texas is a huge state. I can't imagine if they were having a trial in San Antonio that they would have people from Dallas come in from to San Antonio. I mean, that definitely would qualify for the hotel room reimbursement. So, and you can make a little bit of money on that hotel room reimbursement because they pay you almost $200 a night. So, yeah, I'm not opposed to being on a jury. I don't know that I'm eligible because of the district, not because have a criminal record. Raina says, no, you generally don't have to serve on a jury if you live in a different district than the one that summoned you. Jury duty is typically based on residency within a specific jurisdiction, such as county or judicial district. That's what I thought. But I can't get anybody they haven't responded to my email, so I can't get anybody to answer me whether it's yay or nay. And it's an on-call for 3 months. So you really can't schedule any trips or have much of a life for 3 months. So Roy says, Texas is small by Aussie standards. Yeah, I think Australia is the size of the whole United States, if I remember right. So, but you guys are out there all by your lonesomes, which there are, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Trump could run with that too. Randy says, no, you don't have to report for jury duty in Oklahoma if you live in a different district. Jury duty in Oklahoma is specific to the county or district where you are a resident. Okay. Well, I will have to I've emailed them. They haven't emailed me back, but I will have to call them tomorrow and say, hey, I'm probably not eligible. So, yeah, we'll see. I know when my kids were little, I got summoned and I didn't have anybody to watch my children. And so I took them both into the courthouse with me and I told the lady, I'm like, if thing 1 and thing 2 can come with me, I'd be more than happy to serve. But I have no place to put them. And there's nobody, we didn't have any familial support. So it was just me. And so they excused me. But, on the thing, it was telling what the exemptions were. And if you're over 70, you don't have to serve. Well, I'm not quite there. But it never said anything about residency. So, Randy says, no, Australia is not the same size as the United States. The United States is significantly larger than Australia, 27% larger. Okay. Well, that would be about a fourth of the U.S., so you could take out Maine, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, that kind of that fourth slice there. It's still pretty big. And I think a lot of it, now Roy, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of Australia is like Wyoming and Montana, where not a whole lot of people live there. So if you ever come to the States and you have time, you've got to visit Montana and Wyoming because that's God's country. There's just hardly any people up there. There are in the cities, and I don't know if they call them cities or towns up there, but you can drive and drive and drive and never see a soul. And I like that. and beautiful, absolutely stunning things to take pictures of. There's mountains, and the sky just goes on forever. It's really pretty. Roy says to Randy, Australia is nearly as large as mainland USA. I thought it was close. Randy says, yeah, I added Alaska and Hawaii area. Yeah, you can't really do that because Alaska is huge in itself. But we only claim it so we can use their stuff. Did I say that out loud? Roy says, most of Australia is desert. I like desert. Yes, I do too, except for the snakes. I'm not crazy about snakes. Anything that moves faster than I do, I'm not really, too crazy about meeting up with it. Now, if I can move faster than it can, so I'm really, really comfortable around, 65, 80-year-old men, okay? Because I can move faster than they can. Most 65 to 80-year-old women, I can move faster than they can. There's a few out there that I've seen that would give me a run for my money, but for the most part, but yeah, and if it's domesticated, like a dog or a cat, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not really keen on snakes and those lizards that they're not called lizards, they're called something else, but they are so fast and they'll get you. So I don't like things that'll get me. But that's okay. So guys, that is about all I have tonight. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week. I'm so glad we've got some new people coming in, and I appreciate them. Some of them I don't understand, but that's okay. And I just drew a blank. The toast guy, flying toast from Arizona. Yes, I got it. Thanks for coming in so much. And Hal, thanks for coming in. You guys, all of you guys. Scott must be either playing music or he's asleep. And I don't know about Miss Evelyn. Last I heard, she was going to be home, but I don't know. So, to you people in Michigan, we miss you. And we will see everybody next week. Thank you so, so much for coming in and supporting me. And Roy, thank you so much for the super chat. That is just, it really means a lot to me. So until next week, guys, like Randy always says, stay safe and keep smiling. Good night, everybody.